Thank you for inviting the National League of Cities to testify today as the committee begins to reauthorize the IIJA. I'm honored to be here on behalf of the great city of Austin, our region, and the nation's 19,000 cities, towns, and villages in each of your congressional districts. No matter how small or large your community or where you live in our country, infrastructure is essential to building a great community and a great economy. Local governments own more than half of all U.S. infrastructure. In fact, we are major investors in every mode of America's transportation network. As you meet with city officials in your district, you will hear that infrastructure's costs far exceed what local governments can raise themselves on their annual balanced budgets. That is why IIJA was a game changer. Local governments finally had the opportunity to leverage local funding to rebuild our infrastructure. IIJA also incentivized states and regions to collaborate to get more projects built. Now, with Congress's support, more than 72,000 infrastructure projects are moving forward today, including 1,500 core transportation projects led directly by cities and towns supporting local jobs and growing economic development. While the 119th Congress will make major national budget decisions, reducing infrastructure investment from IIJA levels would be a $1 trillion mistake. Snapping back to FAST Act funding levels will mean $1 trillion in economic losses to major U.S. job sectors like healthcare, manufacturing, and professional services, putting more than 237 American jobs at risk. However, keeping IIJA funding levels would give $700 back to every American family for the next 20 years. Keeping IIJA investment levels is what the American economy deserves, and it's the ROI that the American people also require. As Congress renews IIJA, NLC urges you to prioritize continued infrastructure collaboration with America's cities, towns, and villages through direct and regional programs that will improve more than half of the nation's transportation network, carry the majority of Americans' daily trips, and support the first and last mile of all freight movement. Because of the IIJA, there are more than 25,000 local and regional transportation organizations in the U.S. that were now able to jump in and help push through those much-needed infrastructure projects forward. You can see the effect of working with local partners in the Safe Streets program today. The U.S. was losing 100 American lives on our roads each day, and the statistics weren't budging. So, in the IIJA, Congress added a bottom-up program specifically targeted to local and regional road safety for both rural and urban areas. Now, the nation's traffic fatalities are declining for the 9th straight quarter. While we must continue the work, IIJA safety investments with local and regional governments are helping to create a national change, showing a potential formula for Congress's future programs. Every congressional district deserves a safe network and direct investment like Safe Streets. America's local governments urge Congress to double down on safety across multiple programs like RAISE, rail crossings, and reconnecting communities to ensure we are protecting all of our road users, as well as our valuable economic generator, our people. Finally, we know that implementing the IIJA at USDOT and moving all the necessary work forward on a 5-year schedule was a substantial effort, especially with the global pandemic and inflation increasing project costs. Yet these conditions are hopefully now in the rear view. Ahead for the U.S. is the opportunity to deliver infrastructure projects, build accountability for every federal dollar, and expedite and right-size the federal processes for infrastructure projects, especially for the smaller safety projects and existing public right-of-way. America's infrastructure delivery could also be supported by tools to follow infrastructure progress and budgeting, open data and mapping platforms, research and manuals that are more practical and less limiting, and programs like SMART, which can leverage testing and expedite new entrants to transportation like advanced air mobility, autonomous transit, AI-driven signaling, and much more. NLC looks forward to supporting this committee in the reauthorization of the IIJA, and with our state and business partners here, we will continue the momentum. I look forward to your questions. Thank you.